Today we're going to talk about climate change, or as some would call it, global warming. Climate change or global warming. The term climate change is often used interchangeably with the term global warming. But according to the National Academy of Sciences, the phrase climate change is growing in preferred use to global warming because it helps convey that there are other changes in addition to rising temperatures. What is climate change? Climate change refers to any significant change in measures of climate, such as temperature, precipitation, or wind, lasting for an extended period, decades or longer. Climate change may result from natural factors such as changes in the sun's intensity or slow changes in the Earth's orbit around the sun. Natural processes within the climate system, such as changes in ocean circulation. Human activities that change the atmosphere composition through burning fossil fuels and the land surface, such as deforestation, reforestation, urbanization, or desertification, etc. What is global warming? Global warming is an average increase in the temperature of the atmosphere near the Earth's surface and in the troposphere, which can contribute to changes in global climate patterns. Global warming can occur from a variety of causes, both natural and human-induced. In common usage, global warming often refers to the warming that can occur as a result of increased emissions of greenhouse gases from human activities. Information from the globalwarming.com. What is global warming? While some would call global warming a theory, others would call it a proven set of facts. Opinions differ vehemently. Let us consider global warming to be both a premise and the environment of the world as we know it is slowly, but very surely, increasing in overall air and water temperature, and a promise that if whatever is causing this trend is not interrupted or challenged, life on Earth will dramatically or dynamically be affected. What is the counterpoint of global warming or climate change? The prevailing counterpoint is that all that is presently perceived to be global warming is simply the result of a normal climatic swing in the direction of increased temperature. Many proponents of this global warming ideology have definitive social and financial interests in these claims. Global warming and the climate change are aspects of our environment that cannot be easily or quickly discounted. Many factions will strongly feel that the changes our Earth is seeing are the result of a natural climatic adjustment. Regardless of one's perspective, the effects of global warming are a quantifiable set of environmental results that are in addition to any normal changes in climate. That is why the effects of global warming have catastrophic potential. Global warming may well be the straw that breaks the camel's back. It could turn out to be the difference between a Category 3 hurricane and a Category 4. Global warming, as caused by greenhouse gas emissions, can lead us to a definite balance of nature. The premise of global warming. The premise of global warming is an issue of debate. Is that industrial growth coupled with non-structured methods we as humans use to sustain ourselves has created a situation where our planet is getting progressively hotter. We have seemingly negatively affected our environment by a cycle of harmful processes that now seem to be feeding upon themselves to exponentially increase the damage to our ecosystem. The EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, has some basics of climate change. Basic information about climate change. The Earth's climate has changed many times during the planet's history, with events ranging from ice ages to long periods of warmth. Historically, natural factors such as volcanic eruptions, changes in the Earth's orbit, and the amount of energy released from the sun have affected the Earth's climate. Beginning late in the 18th century, human activities associated with the Industrial Revolution have also changed the composition of the atmosphere, and therefore very likely are influencing the Earth's climate. The EPA Climate Change website has 4 main sections on climate change issues and another section on what you can do to reduce your contribution. A frequent question section is available, and EPA has provided a frequent questions database where users can search for more specific questions and answers on climate change. An 8-page brochure entitled Frequently Asked Questions About Global Warming and Climate Change, Back to Basics PDF, provides illustrated answers to frequent questions. What is being done? Health and environmental effects. Climate change affects people, planets, and animals. Scientists are working to better understand future climate change and how the effects will vary by region and over time. Scientists have observed that some changes are already occurring. Observed facts include sea level rise, shrinking glaciers, changes in the range and distribution of plants and animals, trees blooming earlier, lengthening of growing seasons, ice on rivers, and lakes freezing later and breaking up earlier, and thawing of permafrost. Another key issue being studied is how societies and the Earth's environment will adapt or cope with climate change. In the United States, scientists believe that most areas will continue to warm. Although some will likely warm more than others, it remains very difficult to predict which parts of the country will become wetter or drier. But scientists generally expect increased precipitation and evaporation and drier soil in the middle parts of the country. Northern regions such as Alaska are expected to experience the most warming. In fact, Alaska has been experiencing significant changes in climate in recent years that may be at least partly related to human-caused global climate change. Human health can be affected directly and indirectly by climate change, in part through extreme periods of heat and cold, storms, and climate-sensitive diseases such as malaria and smog episodes. For more information on these and other environmental effects, visit the Health and Environmental Effects section of the EPA. What you can do. Greenhouse gases are emitted as a result of the energy we use by driving and using electricity and through our activities that support our quality of life, like growing food and raising livestock. Greenhouse gas emissions can be minimized through simple measures like changing light bulbs in your home and properly inflating your tires to improve your car's fuel economy. The What You Can Do section of the climate change site identifies over 25 action steps that individuals can take to decrease greenhouse gas emissions, increasing the nation's energy independence and also save money. State and local governments and businesses play an important role in reducing greenhouse emissions and greenhouse gas intensity. For example, major corporations, states, and local organizations are taking action through participation in a wide range of the Environmental Protection Agency and other federally volunteered programs. You can start by assessing your own contribution to the problem by using EPA's house emissions calculator to estimate your household's annual emissions. Once you know about how much you emit, you use the tool to see how simple steps you can take at home, at the office, on the road and at school can reduce your emissions. Visit the What You Can Do section of the Environmental Protection Agency's website. In conclusion, global warming is an issue we need to look further into. Regardless of which side you take on this issue, I believe there is a problem. We may not all agree on what the cause in our climate change is resulting from, but we can agree that our climate is changing. Thank you.